Do you have some? Taigi už minutės mes startuojam, tai jau prašau tikrai užimkit savo vietas. Sveiki visi. Hi. Welcome to the innovation stream. My name is Maya, and I will moderate this stream till the end of this day. And actually, why I'm here? I'm here because I would like to be a part of creating our future. But why I think that innovation is very, very important for us. Moreover, I'm an ambassador from Women Go Tech program. And I'm very glad to see here some women scientists from our program too. And before starting our agenda, just some practical information for all of you. We have some changes in our program, and the second speech would be about Internet of Things. Is it the future of business analytics from Microsoft? The next, our topics will be in different languages. So please check your program and you can see the language of a speech. And the last, but not least, at the end of every speech, you will have only 5 minutes to change your room and to go to another presentation. So please be on time. And let's start our journey to innovation. And I'm very, very glad to present my first speaker, my colleague from Telia company, Aiva Kukovece, and he is our innovation catalyst. So, Aiva, please tell us what is common between HR and innovations. Stage is yours.
Thank you. That was a question I wasn't prepared for. And it's true, I have a background in HR. That's probably why she asked the question. So what's common? I think what we want to do with innovation in this company is when we want to create a culture where everyone in the organization feels that they're part of this innovation journey. And working within HR is all about culture. So that would be the similarities, I think. So very happy to be here. Can I get my stuff on the screen? No, now my computer is. And technicalities. Right? Okay. So thanks a lot and nice to be here. Just after lunch, so probably I should start by doing an exercise with all of you, so you can stay on your feet. But I will not do that. You can put the timer on here. And instead, I'm going to talk about a topic that is extremely important to us, to our company, to all the employees, and hopefully also the customers in this room. And I'm going to talk about something that we should have probably stopped with a long time ago. And that is to stop with thinking that we ourselves, in our various parts of the company, think we have the solution to all problems, to all the solutions out there, and how we deliver value to our customers and to our shareholders. And I'm going to talk about something interesting as the different ecosystems that we are currently creating in the various products and services, in the corporations with customers, corporates and small, and in the cooperation with new companies and startups. So that's what I'm going to cover today in the next 30 minutes. As you can see on the screen, this is sort of a little bit of a technical challenge as well. I need to control the presentation from my computer because I'm going to run a fully interactive presentation here. So on every single slide or step, you can ask any question, and you do that on your phone. So the menti.com is the URL. You do that on your phone. You can even like. Oh, I see I get some likes here. Good. Thank you very much. This boosts my confidence now. And then I'm going to catch up on some of those questions at the end of my presentation. But first of all, who am I and why I'm here? I would call myself European. It's correct. I'm from Telia Company. I'm from Sweden. I'm Swedish. I'm born in Sweden, but I'm Croatian from birth. And I work across our different markets in this company. So I'm really happy to be here today. I was on the previous Technology Day, where I met a number of our employees, and today again with all of you and the customers to talk about exciting things that is happening at the moment. But I work, as mentioned, as an innovation catalyst in the company. And that means that I facilitate support and try to help to build innovation capabilities across the organization. And I do that together with my colleagues by facilitating various group-wide initiatives, developing tools that enables innovation, so creating structure for that, and then fostering the culture that we talked about and engagement. So that's typically what I do. And I'm part of a unit that we've given a very exciting name, and that is Division X. So hopefully the colleagues here today from Telia have heard about Division X, but all of you customers out there, Division X is a business unit, roughly 1.5 years old now, with the objective of working with exploring, building new products and services and businesses beyond the traditional core business that we're really good at Telia. So finding new markets, finding new products and services, but most important, finding new experiences that we can bring to our customers, being consumers or businesses. And we do that in the various steps, phases, in the way we work. So Division X is a number of different units focused on the different bets that we've made so far, everything from IoT that you're going to hear about during these days from our partners, digital health, digital markets, and so on, and I'm going to mention a few of those cases later on. But we also have the Innovation Hub that I'm part of, with the mission of not only working as catalysts, but also driving, exploring new business opportunities. And the mission for us is, as quickly as possible, identify and explore new opportunities, validate them with customers in the market, and decide whether it's worth spending more time before we invest too much time and money into new areas, so that we can prove early on that there is a value and there is an interest for our customers in what we can bring to the market. And then, through the different phases, we scale and find, hopefully, new business growth for our company. There's one particular area that we also do in the middle here. We do investments as well. So we have a small investment arm where we invest in partners typically startups in growth stage, that they bring new value to the company, and together we can help them to grow, and we can add more value to our business. So companies like Spotify, Soundtrack Your Brand, SpringPerks, and eBuilder are brands that we have a minority shareholders in. But the reason I'm here is, again, to talk about the ecosystems that we are now creating. Because throughout these phases that I just mentioned, we explore a number of different areas, and we explore a number of different new opportunities that are not typically part of our core business. And we focus a lot around creating new experiences for our customers. But in addition to that, what we've seen and what we've started to accomplish, even, not only understand, but accomplish, is that the world around us in this company is not centered around Telia, unfortunately. I hope it would make us much happier, and our shareholders and stakeholders. But the world is centered around the customers. And we know that the way the technology moves into the future in an exponential pace, with everything that we provide in terms of networks and connectivity and platforms and data and so on, there are hundreds of other players and companies, small and big one, that does the same thing. And some of you'll meet here today, which is great, the bigger partners. And I mentioned at the end that those are important, but also the smaller ones. And I know that in Lithuania and all our different markets, there's a big boom of new companies, new tech companies that are even faster in developing new services. And what we need to do is we need to play together. And I'm going to show you a few cases, starting off with the ecosystem we've started to create around the experience in the car. A service that we call Telia Sense, and has been launched in a couple of our markets, hasn't yet reached Lithuania. But it's a service where we basically connect any car older than a certain amount or younger than certain years, up to 15, 20 years. So it's not only the recent cars. And we provide the normal value, like the connectivity. So you will have Wi-Fi in the car seamlessly. You enter in the car, you drive away, and just Wi-Fi for the kids or whatever, whoever that needs connectivity while driving. But that is maybe not the most relevant part of that service, because it's the services and it's the partners around the Telia Sense ecosystem that is actually the added value to our customers. Because what we've been doing since we started off with this is to add these partners to the ecosystem, and then it's up to every single customer to call off or use these services. But it's a wide range of services, everything from car service to parking service to insurance service and so on. And we are currently adding partners with a pace. Unfortunately, during the first years was about getting this solution out on the market and getting it. Now we're launching partners at a pace, more or less a new partner every second week. In fact, the latest one was a Swedish company called Auto Express. It's a car workshop, kind of big one on the Swedish market. And this is the interesting part, because for a customer that we typically then have a one-way relationship with, this type of ecosystem now gives us an opportunity to bring much more value to customers and much more stickiness, of course, to that solution. That's one ecosystem that's being created. Another ecosystem that we've established starting off at Purple Plus in an innovation team and then scaling and now part of a business unit within Division X, is our ecosystem for the home. So if Sense was for the car, Zone, as we call it, Telia Zone, is the new experience brought to all our broadband customers in the home. And what it does, what it means, is basically on top of the connectivity that we provide in the homes, fixed connectivity, we have built a platform that enables ourselves, but more importantly, our partners, to deliver new services in their home that are specific in the home, in a way where we can tailor different offerings, content that are specific for Telia customers in the home. And we can do some of these services smarter as well, as the platform recognizes when people enter the home or leave the home while connecting or disconnecting to the router or to the Wi-Fi network. And for those of you interested, I'm not going to do it live here because I don't want to switch screens, but I've actually brought one with me. So for those of you interested to see it live, I'll stand in the corner there later on. I'll show you how it works live. So I brought my Zone router here. I even brought my own connectivity down here. It's a connectivity, internet connectivity. This is my Zone, right? So this is where magic happens. Looks like a normal Telia router, which it is, a normal Telia router, but with that magic implemented. And that we then can show and expose all of these types of services. And one example, very sort of simple one, but it gives you a hint of what it can do. We have one of the Svenska Dagbladet, content provider, that has a premium service, and they offer this premium service, of course, over the internet, and typically you would need to have an individual account, so every family member needs multiple accounts to read that newspaper online. The way they've offered this to the Telia providers in our home is with one account, everybody that is connected to the Wi-Fi in the home can access that content. And then you can start think about all the types of content, premium or freemium, but mostly premium, that can be done in a similar way. But it's not only for the consumers. These are concepts and technologies we're now bringing also to the business-to-business market and looking at different contexts, like a hotel, for example. We are now in quite a big hotel. What the hotel could provide to all its residents that are specific content in this hotel or other places. You can imagine what that would enable us to do. But again, the good thing with this is it's not Telia content. We are the providers. We're building the ecosystem. We have the platform. We're opening up. We have open APIs. We have currently hundreds of developers or companies that are developing on the developer platform. And then we have a rigorous process in how we let some of them out on the productive side. And you can see some of those names on this list. But again, if you want to see it, please let me know. I'll stand there in the corner. So those are two sort of very recent and very important examples, the ecosystem for the car and the ecosystem for the home. But there's a fourth or third area that's being developed quite, I would say, heavily, intensively at our company at the moment. And that is how we can utilize the vast amount of data that we as a telecom operator manage on a daily basis. And this is a very sensitive topic on all our markets, in all EU countries, and we are reaching GDPR dates soon. So we're going to all cry at that day or scream or be happy, I don't know, let's see. But if we can manage that by the law, even within the strict boundaries, even within that law, we can anonymize the data and aggregate the data, we can deliver fantastic insights to our customers. And this is something we already are doing. It's a service we developed that we call Crowd Insight, and we're working with some customers in Sweden. We have a big bus transportation company that can optimize their routes by understanding how that crowd moves with the different demographies and such. But what's interesting is that case has now triggered, and we have a number of different customers that are reaching out to us that wants to see how we together can even create more value out of their data and our data combined. And this is now a new ecosystem being built up where we are taking quite a big role into it, we hope. Where we can help our customers, of course, to deliver insights based on our data, but in combination with their data or other open data, etc., that becomes an even stronger value proposition and some more value for the customers. And this is now happening as well. And the question is, like, what are the next ecosystems that will come beyond that? That's a good question. We don't know. But we for sure know that the products and services that we're putting to the market needs to have a flavor of openness, partnerships. Of course, if we can build the platform services the way we built the Sense and the Zone and everything, that's going to be perfect. Some of them, for whatever reason, we can't do. But we need to have that openness, and we need to work together with our customers in a much bigger extent in the way we develop things. And this is the big quest that we within Division X and Pro Plus are working with. But in that work, what's great is that we have the opportunity, have the pleasure even, to work with our enterprise customers as well in identifying and finding out how we together can create something new. So we do a lot of innovation activities and workshops where we can bring our assets and our knowledge and people. They will bring their assets and knowledge and people. And then we see 1 + 1, can that create something more than 2? Can that become 3 or more? So the second part of being part of an ecosystem, of creating an openness in the way we work, is a lot about working with our customers in various types of activities, in co-innovation activities. And on the screen here is some of the examples that we've been doing and will continue to do. And that goes across the different industries, across the different markets, across different sizes of company. Of course, larger corporations is easier because they have more resources, etc. But we also have cases with smaller companies. So many different types of innovation workshops, working on finding common areas of challenge and problems in specific small prototyping or pilot projects. We've done pilot project using new technologies like drone technologies, around voice, around artificial intelligence and so on, exploring together. But it's also a lot about identifying common problems that we want to address or needs on the market that we can address together for the different customers that we work with. So one second sort of important part of being an ecosystem and creating an ecosystem is not only about our products and services that we bring to the market, it's also the way we do things and the way we work with customers across the board. One recent one I want to share in particular, because it's something that I'm working on myself, in addition to the role as an innovation catalyst, is around the area of IoT, again, that you will talk about today. And we just started off, almost like 2 months old now, with a complete new approach around IoT, where we, together with our customers and few selected partners, work on a particular case need that the customer has, and we can help that customer to go from an idea to a full-fledged prototype in just a few weeks. And we don't only address the connectivity and typical parts that we do, we can also address the user side of things, the experience, the software. We do hardware design and hardware prototyping, and then we help the customer with the business validation. So we work in all those 4 aspects. And at the end of the day, customer has a much better understanding of how he can realize, or he or she, or the company can realize that business need, and eventually we can help them in that process going forward. But it's a very structured process. We just in just a few weeks, we go from idea to full-fledged prototype. So that's the second part, how we interact and work and collaborate with customers. And then the final one, which I also personally have a very dear passion around, and that is how we interact and work in the so-called startup ecosystem. As I mentioned in the beginning, there are so many great companies out there being formed almost on a daily basis in all our markets. And some markets are more mature than others. I mean, Stockholm is considered to be the second one unicorn factory after Silicon Valley. But we also know that the other markets, Estonia, for example, are well ahead in this area as well. Lithuania is becoming a very strong player, and our engagement in that area with the Telia Tech Park is super important, and the various activities. So we have different kind of support and approaches in our different markets. And what we do is we want to make sure that we are present in those hubs, in those ecosystems, so that the companies can reach to us. Because again, we need to be present, we need to be active, and not sit on the traditional Telia company, building and then expect them to find us. They don't have time for that. We need to be where they are. So it's very important. We are engaging ourselves in all those startup hubs across the different markets, in Stockholm, in Finland, in Vilnius, as I mentioned, or Estonia. We do different kinds of activities. This is a picture from the hackathon, IoT hackathon we did here in Vilnius just before the summer. Super great event where we got some really great brains to work on some of the platforms and devices that we can bring to the market in order to explore what IoT can do for the users and customers. But it's not only about being present in these hubs or ecosystems. It's also about creating real interactions with startups, actually doing real business with startups. And here I think we have much more to do as a company and as an industry, to be honest. Our peers in this industry, they are not as, equally bad, if I may say that. Because the startups, they need something that we have. Because we have customers, we have the channels, we have the markets, and that's exactly what the startups need. And then last but not least, what we have is enormous amount of expertise across the different functions that we have in our various markets and businesses. Just here in Lithuania, more than 3,000 employees, if I remember. You cover all of the expertise areas, from technical to HR, to product management, to project management, to sales, to everything, right? So what if we can just offer and help some of these startups to develop and grow and be more successful by providing a few of those assets? And that's exactly what we do in some of our markets. Now here in Lithuania, you have your program run through the Tech Park, and we have similar programs in the other countries. One of them that we call Coach Your Business is where we work with few selected startups over a period of time, almost a year. So it's not only that we have a single meeting and we meet up and, fine, here's Telia and you, and then we sort of go and do our normal business. No, we made a commitment. 3 startups in our program, because this is what we can handle at the moment. I wish it was 10. But then we work with those startups for a year during their development. And maybe it starts with a technical need, goes over to marketing, then product management, then sales, then legal, then HR, and so on. And it develops over time. And we see a lot of value we add, but we also learn a lot by interacting. And the people that we connect with these startups, they learn a lot and bring that back to the business and think, how can we do this in our company? So what we then ultimately also see happening with that small interaction is that new business opportunities start to then grow. As I said in the beginning, it's not only about engaging with startups in this way, it's also about helping them to do business. And with some of the startups we've been working this program, we've done pilots with very interesting companies that have very interesting technologies or business propositions. And then we do pilots within our organization or with a certain customer base as a way for us also to use new interesting technologies or values. So I can, for those of you who haven't sort of been engaged earlier, I can really encourage you all to go in and take a look at what you guys have been doing here in Lithuania. So that was it. And I have a few more minutes, and I'm now going to wrap up and see if I can answer some of the 22 questions. Or my time is out completely?
4 minutes.
All right. So, why?
Because.
So, what government, let's see if I can see if any questions. How do you find new ideas? Okay, let me take that one. Many questions, I'm really having. So how do we find new ideas? So we scout new ideas both internally and externally. And we do that both within the team that we're working on, in the interactions we have. We reach out to the full organization through various campaigns. And then we work a lot with the external input, either with partners or just following the trends on the market. Some say that TV is past technology. I won't answer that one. Is Division X hiring? Good question. Probably we are. You can check on our website. Why X? X stands for the unknown. So we are on the quest to identify the yet unknown, the new business opportunities. And it's a cool name, right? So probably that. So I will actually see, and I will see where I can provide some answers. I don't know if you're going to send the questions out or answers later on in some form. But I'll see if I can answer some more of the questions online and then send it to you. With that, I hope this gave you some ideas, some input, and some vision about the future and how we as a company need to develop. And thanks for your time.